Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com.
Sports fans, welcome to the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM, broadcasting live from Jake's Furnishings. You can listen to us on the go. Download that Mixlr app, Joe. And
I got it downloaded.
You can also watch us live on YouTube. Scott Kirby, Joe Ryan, Jake Johnston, Jim Ash, and Connor Shaw. No Lloyd today.
No Lloyd.
So that means no shenanigans.
That's right. Things will be straight here.
Yeah.
Hey, I think Connor should get in a band. Are you in a band? Yeah, you got a good look. We're going to put you out front. Get you in a band. That long hair and beard. We got a shot of him, Jim. We haven't got him yet. You want to step up in front of the camera?
Well, you know, those young guys, they
can grow hair.
They can grow hair.
It's brown and it looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ours not so
when
good.
When you get to this age, no hair, gray.
So, Connor, this is what you got to look forward to. Enjoy your time.
Yep, enjoy it while it lasts. Joe, did you ever have long hair back in the day? I bet you had a mullet.
I had a mullet. I look good in it, too.
Yeah, I bet you did.
I'll bring a picture in of my mullet.
All right.
It looks good. Did you guys have mullets?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Is that back when you were playing the drums?
Break
dancing?
Back in the football days, you know, you had the mullet, and then you had the lines on the side of your head, you know.
I never put the lines inside of my head. Did you ever have a mullet?
No.
Oh, you cool.
He had a perm.
No, it's not that I wouldn't have wanted it. There's no way in hell my dad's going to allow that to happen. It just wasn't happening.
That's one of the reasons I liked your dad. He had you straightened out.
Oh, whether I liked it or not,
Kept track of you.
Kept track.
Yeah. I think the mullet will look good on you with shirt off, playing the drums.
Well, me dog grow it out.
Why don't you grow it back
It'd
out?
be more like a skullet. Because I'm kind of bald on top, you know, and long and
A skull would look good.
Yeah,
I kind of like it.
We'll work on that.
Kind of like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Minus the muscles.
Minus the muscle.
Hey guys, we got a full slate today. High school playoffs going on, round 2. We're going to talk to Coach Lyons. Unfortunately, their season came to an end. We're going to talk to Jared Shaner, the Dixon Dukes on a roll.
Dukes.
Beating the snot out of
Can you say
Chicago Ag Science.
Chicago Ag Science, yeah. And then we got a lot of games on slate for today that we'll go over. But we're going to talk to those guys.
We did have a hair comment come in. Dirk Conrad. You guys seen Dirk lately? Boy, does he look good with his.
Yeah.
You know,
He was just here a couple
he's got
weeks
his
ago,
long hair, all nice and brown. He wants to talk about man buns.
I can see that, yeah.
Can you pop a man bun on?
He's got one.
Oh, look at it. You know who else had hair like that? Kind of Gene Simmons. He'd pop that up and then let it drag in the back. Take a look at Gene.
I'm kind of jealous now.
I was going to say, we're all jealous now.
Yeah. I'd kill for a man bun.
I don't know that I'd kill for it, but
Well, a man bun look good. Marty's got a man bun.
yeah.
Marty's just
And he's in a band.
he's in a band.
Yeah.
Grateful Dead.
Gotta
band,
have it.
You know?
You gotta have that stuff. Man buns.
Boy, what it'd be to be young again, Jake.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of settling into where I'm at now.
Wakes up with a different ailment every morning.
It'd be pretty hard to pull you up out of that chair, isn't it?
You know,
settle in.
You know, we're to the age we go to bed, we feel good, and we wake up and get out of bed, and something's wrong.
What?
What the heck?
How'd I pull that?
Yeah.
Remember when you'd stay up as late as you could, and now it's like, man, when can I go to bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it time for bed?
Yeah, I'll get in bed.
Hell, I try to go to bed and can't go to sleep.
Well,
Well,
You know?
take some drugs.
I don't do drugs. Sorry.
They have at the pharmacy.
Just say no.
Just say no.
just say no.
You gotta sleep.
So we're going to have first up, we're going to talk to Coach Lyons. I'm sure
Coach Lyons lost the heartbreaker
Yeah, I'm
last
sure
week.
he's a little bit
Angry.
A little angry, disappointed, sad, you know, because, you know, their team is rolling. And the good thing about this team is they're young.
Yep.
And they got that playoff experience, man. That's crucial. It's huge. And these kids, you know, they got better as the season went on. So you got to think next year they're going to come out of the gate rolling. They got to be one of the favorites in their conference with being that young and that successful.
Well,
In a tough conference.
yeah, and talk around the Olympia areas, you know, how he's pulling in kids and how kids are buying into the system. So, I mean, you keep building on that. You hope you get your enrollments high enough that you're pulling in a few more kids each year. And, you know, you put enough kids on the field, you're going to have a pretty good shot, especially with the way he's coaching it.
Yeah.
Well, they had, they got a tough draw. That's why it's so important to win those games during the season. You know, is he got a tough draw going, you know, you got to travel 3 hours and go down to Nashville. That's a tough draw. And Nashville's a good football team, stayed right with them. Lost 42-35 and actually had the lead, lost in the last, minute 50 of the game or something. I'm sure he'll explain it all to us.
Oh, Amy Cross from Nashville area, isn't she?
Yeah, she is from down there, isn't she?
Yep.
A legend. We need to have her on the
Sports
show.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, she's a big deal.
Yep. And we're going to talk to Coach Shaner. And I don't know about Coach Fricky. They're making the long bus trip down to Johnson City today, 5 p.m. game.
Yeah, they play 5 p.m.
And
today.
so I don't know if did they go down last night, you think?
I'm not sure.
Or get up this morning?
He was going to let me know about getting on, and then I haven't heard back, so I'm sure I know he's got his things.
He's got other things going on, and we appreciate that.
Also, want to give a shout out to John Allison, the next Lincoln boy. He's got those Cyclones SHG.
He's got a tough one today.
He had a tough one last week. They went in and upset Muhammad Seymour in a big game. Muhammad Seymour's good, and so it was good to see him get that W W in the playoffs, and now they've got Joliet Catholic at home. And you're right, I watched a little film on Joliet, and they are men.
They are big.
That's a good football team.
Yeah, so good luck to them today. You know, the SHG.
He was going to come on and talk, but they have their breakfast this morning, 9 to 10, so he said he couldn't join us. But be interesting to see ideas. 2 o'clock game over at SHG if you want to jump in and go.
That would be interesting. You going?
I don't know yet.
You're not.
I might be going.
You're not going. They don't want you there with your ailments and your
No.
No.
That, and he brings this aura about him.
Yeah, like
smell?
We're gonna lose.
Yeah.
The smell?
If Joe shows up, it's
Tell you
like,
what, I just went over and saw Aaron Fricky last weekend, and we brought in the W. And Aaron's not here to talk about. He's not going to be on today, Coach Fricky. But I was at the Warrensburg game last weekend, and the thing that impressed me so much was there were a lot of things that went wrong for his football team where you could have hung your head, and they didn't. And they came back, had a lead, lost the lead, came back and took the lead and won the game. And it was a fun game to be at. They got a cool little place over there. But Aaron, he did a good job.
How good?
real good.
Well, and he's got a tough thing today. First of all, going all the way down to Johnson City, but Johnson City's good. They're 9-1, and the only loss that they have is to who?
The Dixon Dukes.
But Coach Shaner told me that's a real good football team. So.
And the only loss that the Dixon Dukes have was against
Byron,
and they're a powerhouse in 3A.
Yeah.
So Dixon rolling, man. I'm excited to talk to Shaner. He's got to be pretty pumped, So we'll get his football knowledge, and as well as Lions, and we'll talk to them after the break.
Then we'll get some info from us.
Yeah. And
what more could you want?
Yeah.
I don't know. So let's take
three brilliant minds. I don't know if we were all valedictorians, but we were close, weren't we?
Not even.
I mean, there's a cutoff after you drop.
There's a cutoff
after the bottom half of the class. They stop even talking about it. That's where I was.
We didn't have the tassels around our neck. We were lucky to show up.
I was going to say that they actually gave us a robe and hat to go into.
Yeah,
But
what's this for? You're
you had to turn it back in.
Like you're graduating. Here you go. You don't really have to go out there and embarrass us, but
thank you. All right, let's take a commercial break. We come back, we'll get Coach Lyons on the phone. We'll try to cheer him up a little bit. It's a heartbreaking loss for him, but they had a good season, and
Absolutely.
I'm sure they'll bounce back next year. So let's take a commercial break. You're in the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM.
Live video streaming of this event is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Hi, Joe Ryan here with Country Financial. As pensions go by the wayside and your retirement approaches, have you thought about what your retirement income will look like? No, I'm not talking about how much money you have saved. I am talking about a retirement income, a guaranteed paycheck for life. That's right, a paycheck issued to you every month for the rest of your life. Sound interesting? Let's talk. 735-4385.
Hello, Lincoln and Logan County. This is Chris Grau from Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln. When it comes time to choose someone to repair your car, truck, or SUV, don't you think you'd feel more comfortable working with the local people you know and trust? Our team in service, parts, and detail have the tools, training, and knowledge that will get your repairs done quickly with less downtime and at the right price. Call the local pros at 217-735-4444 at Grau Chevrolet Buick on North Kickapoo Street in Lincoln.
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Are you sick and tired of the telephone calls, text messages, and ads in the mail for Medicare open enrollment? Medicare open enrollment begins October 15th.
It's WLCN 96.3 FM. Speaking of ringing the bell, knocking on the door, Coach Lyons. Good morning, Coach.
Well, Joe, I'm glad you're a radio personality and not on Name That Tune, buddy. That'd be rough.
Yeah, we're not real good.
I know you know
Joe's pretty good at that. I try to keep it
I bet
professional.
you is pretty good, actually.
Hey,
I could see that.
you know what? I got a text message that because he wasn't answering me back, Coach Lyons. He said he was sorry he was in the shower. He's cleaned up for the show today.
Well,
I did. I got to dress it up for you guys.
I kind of like that.
Lloyd's en route to his place now.
Somebody's got to class that place up, you know.
oh, well, it's a tough gig, but
I love it. Thanks for cleaning up.
yeah.
You're welcome, guys.
He
I'd do anything
probably
for you.
got
You know that.
up and went on a walk and got some exercise in. Why-
No, he didn't.
We get up and the first thing we do when we walk in is find the donut box.
Grab a donut.
All
Wrong with
facts.
that.
Hey, I'll tell you what, some donuts sound pretty good right now.
Well,
Come on down.
We're sitting at
Stop in
Jake's.
1100 Woodlawn Road at Jake's Furnishing.
we got
Make it your own donut.
We got some four-day-old donuts for you.
Yep. We have
I don't bring them in the fresh stuff.
cut down.
It's a nice patina, you know. Patina on that donut.
You got to
Cut down Long Johns and
You got to dip them in coffee just to get them down.
yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
Coach, got to feel a little bittersweet this morning. Obviously, a tough loss for you guys. You never want the season to end, especially when you guys are playing your best football towards the end of the season. You guys gave them a game. It just came down, to the final couple minutes, and unfortunately, you guys fell just a little short.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you have a 3-hour bus ride home, you got a lot of time to reflect on, not just that game, but your season. And you know, at the end of those years, you always feel bad for your seniors because, you know, for a lot of them, that'll be the last time they ever put on a helmet. And I try to explain to people that have never played the football game that have never played football, like a lot of people ask, like, why is there so much emotion at the end of a game? And I'm like, well, unlike a lot of other sports, like football has a finality to it, you know, like you know when you're done, you're done. You're never going to play again. You can go play 18 holes of golf until you're 95 years old. You know, you can find a pickup game of basketball at the YMCA, and I'm not saying it's the same as a high school sport, but you're still playing the sport. You know, you will never play 11-man tackle football again. You're done.
Yeah, and you look at Joe Ryan. There's no way he's going to do that.
You know, it's bittersweet is a good way to explain it, because you never want your season to end, and to end the way it did is tough, but also to see the emotion out of all the kids, and you just know how much it really matters to them, and that, you know, it's hard not to get emotional yourself when you see that. And some of these boys, you know, for the 4 years they're here, they you know, some of them have me twice a day in school, and they've had me before school, after school, you know, through 4 seasons. I mean, we see a lot of each other, maybe sometimes more than they see their own parents during their 4 years. And so it's tough to go out that way, but I thought our kids showed great grit and determination, and says a lot about the program that they've helped build.
Yeah, you know, I always said I always love to see a kid cry after a football game, and it's and you're at a stage in life where, you know, at that age you don't want to cry because, you know, you don't want to show emotion, you don't want to do that. But boy, when it overtakes you like that, you know they cared, you know they're going to miss it. It's kind of a big deal of it, and it's it is tough when you step off that football field.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the kids go out, they give it all, they leave it out all on the field, and being that close with opportunities to win, that makes it hurt even more, you know, just where the position you guys are in. You fall a little short, and, you know, like you said, the emotions run high.
You know, we just feel like, you know, we've been so close to breaking through to that next level, you know, to try to really get to a title game, and you know, these guys had great goals for themselves, and I mean, I think this group they achieved a ton. I mean, to think, you know, a lot of people coming into the year weren't necessarily expecting a lot from us because we had lost so much from the year before, but the people within our group, they knew what we were capable of, and they knew that the legacy that had been left for them, and they wanted to build on that. And I think in a lot of ways they did. I mean, this, you know, I said our group of seniors are going to graduate. You know, there's only one group of football players that have ever came through Olympia High School that have won more games than this group, and they played in a state championship. And so, you know, they, you know, when you look at the season and overall, they set the record. They set several records offensively that are going to be very difficult to break. For example, you know, they rushed for 3,400 yards in 9 games. I mean, that's a lot. And they broke the school record for points per game too. I don't have the final number in front of me, but it was close to 40. And so scoring 40 points a game when you primarily run the football, it's not an easy thing to do. And so it says a lot about how talented we were on that side of the ball, and how bought in these guys are to doing what we do. And we feel like we're as good as anybody in the state at doing it. And we're still trying, and we're still getting better. You know, like we're no way satisfied with where we are, but we feel like when we get in the huddle, we have a chance to score every time we get the ball.
A little bit about your character of that team. I watched some film of it, and there were plenty of opportunities in that game for you guys to quit. And you never did. There's some things that go wrong. You know, I think you got down a couple scores. And
yeah, so just a little bit of the game. So we kicked off. We actually picked off a middle screen on the first possession of the game, ran it back, and then we fumbled on the third play. They go down and score. They're up 7-0.
So perfect opportunity again if things are going wrong for you. You have a big chance.
And we get the ball back, and we I think we stall out on that drive and punt, and they score again. So they're up 14-0 right off the bat in the first quarter, and then we get the ball back, we score, make it 14-7. They score again, 21-7. We drive all the way down right before the half and just can't quite finish off the drive. Kind of run out of time a little bit, not as much as they stopped us. We had to do some things that we wouldn't normally do, but then we get the ball back at half, score right away, make it 21-14. They answer right back, and then I think we make it 28-21. They score again to go up 2 scores, and then we get stopped, and it's 35-21 with about, probably 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And anyway, so we stop them there. They punt. We score right away on a long run to Cone Alexander, who had a great game, by the way. I think he had 210 yards in his last football game as a high school player.
Way to go out.
Yeah. In a playoff game against an 8-1 team, we rushed for 450 yards against an 8-1 conference champion. That'll give you an idea. So he goes down, he scores. We kick deep, we put it in the end zone. It's a touchback, 35-28. I think that's right. I think it was 35-28 at that point. And then we get them into a 3rd and short. I don't know, there's probably about 4 minutes left, something like that, maybe 3 something. And Coach Murray calls a pressure, which was a great call, and they fumble it and we recover. So we get the ball in their 35-yard line with 2 something left, and we end up scoring to take the lead. We score to go down 1 with 1:40 left, and we decide, hey, we're on the road. It's in the playoffs. Let's go for 2. Let's go for the win.
Did you get Coach Murray's approval on that?
Well, I don't. Yeah, sure. Joe, you sure?
I'm thinking.
I'm the head coach, and I'm making this decision.
Yeah, right, exactly. So we go for 2, and we get it. So we go from being down 14 with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter to being up 1 with 1:30 left.
Unbelievable, yeah.
And we decide to kick deep, and our kickoff coverage has kind of struggled all year, and it's not an easy decision there, right? Because
absolutely.
you're kind of in every high school football coach struggles with kickoff coverage.
Yeah.
It's always a worry for everybody, and we felt like, you're kind of in a damned if you do and damned if you don't. If you squib it, you're putting them on a short field anyways. Mm-hmm. If you kick deep, there's a chance that they can return it. And, so, hey, you put the one before in the end zone, you got to trust your guys. We got 11 of our best football players on that kickoff team. We kick it deep. We miss a couple tackles. They return it to our 40-yard line. They're on our 40. They have 3 timeouts left, and you got a really, really good football coach on the other sideline. Yep. Who's played in a state title, been in there twice in the last,
Wow, great
years.
program.
Yeah, and just, a great football coach. Well known down there as certainly will probably be a future Hall of Famer, and he proved it too. They ran some influence stuff on our defense that we'd not seen prior to that day. Stuff that, you can only do if you really take a deep dive into how people are trying to defend you. You know, and so they run a couple quarterback run plays, and then they end up punching it in the end zone with about 30 seconds left in the game. So, and you know, I'm proud. We get the kickoff. We get, you know, we end up getting all the way down to their 40-yard line. And have a chance to throw the ball into the end zone, you know, with 4 seconds left, and you know, we work on Hail Mary all the time, and Ian. The snap went over his head, and such a competitor Ian Tackett is. I mean, I don't know that we'll ever have another like him. And he throws a great ball down to about the 5-yard line, and we have a chance at least to tip it up and try to get it into the end zone and pull off a miracle there. And, you know, they executed that play about as well as we could ask. And Nashville did a nice job of knocking it down. But I mean, just great resilience by our kids. I mean, and to show you, you know, kind of where and how our program has grown. You know, we go from, God, everybody would have been just 3 years ago, right? Everybody would have been thrilled if we even made a playoff game, to now all the kids are pissed off because we lost one, you know? Yeah. And so, and that's good. I mean, like I said, I feel bad for seniors who did a great job with leadership this year and really filled a void that the class behind them had left before. Cole Bauer, Carson Berkey, Ian Tackett, you know, Javen Bruder, Davis Royal, gosh, you hate to forget somebody. Noah Tosh, and because I'm doing this all off the cuff, but those guys were Kyle Gellner, Liam True. I mean, those guys were great leaders, and they set a great example for people to follow. And you know, you just hope that every group can build upon what the groups before them had done. And I think these guys did a lot in the way of how you handle transition from one class to the next.
Awesome.
Well, unfortunately, Nashville didn't have a Tyreek Stevenson on their defense for that Hail Mary.
Right, exactly. Oh man, us poor Bear fans, you know. Coach, I mean, at least we're not Browns fans. That's what I say. They're even more tortured than us. So, right. You know.
Yeah, but you know, we were talking a bit before you got on air, and you're a young team, and not that you're ready to look forward to next year yet, Coach, because you still want to celebrate the seniors this year and kind of reflect of the season you had. But as a coaching staff, you know, when the season's over, you get back together on the drawing board, you guys got to feel pretty good about what position you're in because of those younger kids that are going to return and with that playoff experience. So, you know, you guys next year, you know, come out of the gate running and just pick up where you left off.
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited about where our program's at. You could just hear, you know, a couple of our kids. You're kind of walking around. You want to hear what they say. You're trying to get a pulse for the team. And, you know, there were a couple things that went on after the game that I thought were kind of special. I mean, number one, you guys know I come from a coaching family. My dad won a state title in 1980. He was at the game as a head coach, and I didn't tell. He's not going to ask, so I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him to do it, but he pulled them all together, and he's like, 1979, we lost in the first round. You know, we had a group of juniors that were just exceptional, and they said, we're going to do it, and they did. You know, and he told all those guys that story after the game, and then you could hear them kind of walk by saying, hey, we're going to get there. We can do it. You know, no excuses. Let's get it done. And we have a really great group. I mean, I think we returned something like 16 or 17 starters from that team.
Yeah.
So
see you in the weight room.
Yeah. I mean, you know, a lot can happen between now and then, and you guys know that. But if they do the things that they're supposed to do and they do the things that they say they're going to do, you know, the sky's really the limit. I mean, we're we don't try to focus on the outcome. We really build on the process, and we got to embrace that of daily improvement. And if they do that, they have a chance to accomplish some special things over the next couple of years.
Yeah, you got them rolling over there.
Absolutely.
I always give you credit for that. You jumped in over there and took off. Nice.
Well, you know, it's I got a lot of great help, Joe. That's the honest truth. We do postseason evaluations with the kids, and one of the things that we fill out is a coaching evaluation tool, and it's all based upon, you know, the culture that we're trying to create. And it's blatantly obvious to me that I got a group of assistant coaches that are just as committed to creating the culture we want to create as I am, and I'm blessed to have them. And those guys don't get nearly enough credit for how much work they do. You know, they're putting in a lot. I mean, it's another full-time
lot of
job
time
for those guys. Yeah, a lot of time, and you know, they're not getting paid much at all to do it. They're doing it for the love of the game and the love of the kids, and you know, you're only as good as the people you work with. And I have army of tremendous people behind me, including, you know, a lot of parents on our team that put, I mean, you know, Andy and Sean Halley, were Blaine Halley, our kid that's playing at SIU, and Kale, they have a sophomore on the team. I mean, you could not ask for a better group of a better people to help. I mean, that's like having a director of football operations, you know. He does so much to organize all these things behind the scenes. Yep. so that I can just coach football, you know, that I don't have to worry about where we're going to get food from and things like that. I mean, there's a huge group of moms. She's just the one that's ahead of it. And we got tremendous community support, and our fans are incredible. I mean, if you ever go to a game in Olympia, you see that, you know, we go a lot of places, and I'm not sure there's anywhere that their stands are more full than ours. Even on the road, 3 hours away from Nashville, they took a caravan down. It was a full sideline. Our kids could feel the energy in the game. Our fans just kind of willing us back in it. And I mean, you just feel blessed. That's the honest truth. There's no place I'd rather be. I'm in the best spot for myself and my family right now, and I'm just really proud to be a Spartan.
Well, congratulations on another year. You got the program rolling. And
so what I mean, now that the season's over, there's just kind of a breath of just nothing.
It's kind of weird, you know. I always tell people, you go from, when you do what I do, and you go from every single minute of your day being accounted for, from the moment you wake up to the moment that you lay your head down on whatever it is. You know, I'd like to say a pillow, but a lot of times it's falling asleep on my couch with an iPad falling on my face and waking me up because I'm watching film, you know. Yeah. But you go from that to really all of a sudden, you know, you're done at 3:20 at the end of the day, and you're just like, oh, what am I going to do with myself? So it takes about a week for you to adjust to living life that a normal human being lives. You know, like you see your life is seen through such a straw, you know, during you're so tunnel vision during that time of the year. But there's silver linings there, you know, there really is. Of my youngest, he had 3 basketball games last week, and I got to go to all 3 of them, you know, which I wouldn't have got to do if we were still coaching football. And
sure. It's a sacrifice.
Go ahead, Joe.
I mean, you sacrifice a lot when you're coaching. There's no doubt.
Yeah. You know, he had baseball in the fall, and all their games are at like 4:00, and I can't be at any of them, and that's painful. You know, that's hard to miss your own kids' stuff, and they know I come every time I can. Any time that I can be there, I'm gonna be. But it's nice to just get to live the best title in the world, which is dad, for a little bit, you know.
For sure.
So
yep, for sure.
I love that part of it, and we do. You know, I will say, the worst day of being a football coach is equipment hand in. It's the worst. I mean, there's, you're chasing kids down for a couple weeks trying to find one knee pad.
Hey, that's always a good day.
Or,
they're a good assistant coach if they show up that day too.
Yeah, right.
It's
exactly.
always, I can't get off work.
Did a great job. Probably the best ever. I think we had 60 out of 70 there, which is pretty good. And then as, the last checkout thing we do when they hand their equipment in is we have them all sign up for a postseason meeting. So I do a 15-minute meeting with every kid in our program. And, for the seniors, it's kind of an exit interview. What was your favorite part of the program? What kind of things would you change if you could? What did you learn? Those type of things. And then for our younger kids, those questions are certainly part of it, but it's more of a, hey, let's reflect on your season and let's set some goals for the off season and next year. And so we do that with every kid in our program. So that takes a couple weeks, to get through all those.
That's good. Well, Coach, congrats.
Yeah, congrats on a great season. And we always enjoy your time on Saturday mornings. Appreciate you calling in, win or lose. It's good to talk to you. And now you just roam aimlessly around the house looking for something to do.
Yeah, that's right.
Usually
those. Go watch a playoff game today. I haven't decided.
Yeah.
Well, you can get back in shape. That's what I was always going to do. You're just going
right. Yep. I got to shed this. I think you guys heard me say before. I think the girls at the drive-thru at Taco Bell, they know my name during the season. They're like, "Hey, Coach, nice to see you again."
You want the usual?
They got my order ready for me at the window.
Stay healthy, my friend.
All right.
But yeah, so I got to shed the in season 15 that I gain every year.
Yeah, that put you right back down.
Where are you getting Taco Bell at over in the Olympia area?
Well, I live in Morton still.
Okay. Well,
so there's a Taco Bell there, and that's it's unfortunately on my way home. So it's like if I was a lunker fish in the bottom of a pond and they dangled that worm, I'd bite it every damn time.
There's a few of us like that.
Yeah. Can't turn down a good old Taco Bell.
I have a lot of self-discipline in my life, but when it comes to food, I'm a sucker. Hey. I can't help myself.
You got to eat.
That's right.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time, and we look forward to talking to you in the future.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys too. Thanks for everything you do during the season. I love you guys giving me opportunity to help promote our program, and you guys do a great job. And as always, go Spartans.
All right,
go Spartans. Thanks, Coach.
Yep, thanks, Coach.
Yep. See you guys.
See you,
Coach Lyons.
Nope. We're going to take a small break, and we'll get Coach Shaner on.
A small break?
Yeah, better go quick.
All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back. We'll talk to Coach Shaner of your Dixon Dukes. Stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Hi, Joe Ryan here with Country Financial. As pensions go by the wayside and your retirement approaches, have you thought about what your retirement income will look like? No, I'm not talking about how much money you
of the quarterfinal Dixon Dukes. Coach Jared Shaner. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Well, we thought you'd come on a little more excited than that. I mean, come on.
I'm not. You got me fired up. That sounded good. The quarterfinal Dixon Dukes.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
Putting a whipping on the old Ag Science team there. Man, you got to feel pretty good Saturday morning. Big victory last night and moving on.
Yeah, for sure. It was, we right at the playoff pairings night, we felt good about our just kind of where we landed, and had a tough one pulled away in week one of the playoffs, and then last night, no disrespect to them at all, but CPS schools just typically aren't what kind of schools outside of the city are. So felt good about getting a big win, got everybody to play last night, and starters were out at halftime, and all the kids got on the field, so that's always good. And then now we wait till 1 o'clock this afternoon and tune in to see who we get next.
You gonna go over to that game? Is that in Rockford?
I am. Yeah, there's a handful of us coaches, and actually I think quite a few of our guys are going. Rockford Boylan's only probably a 45-minute drive for us, so just right up the interstate, and it's as we've talked before. It's always good to get to see people in person as opposed to just film.
Yeah, and that's fun. A Saturday afternoon football game that you have no
pressure.
No pressure
sure.
in, and
you just get to sit there and watch
and hit the concession stand and sit back and watch two good football teams. Coach, me and Joe were talking, and he thinks Cole City will come out of that one, but Rockford Boylan, they got a pretty good squad as well.
Yeah, both are solid. I
know you've been watching film.
Yeah, I've had a chance to see both of them just a little bit. Both really good teams, good programs. Cole City is, they're good year in and year out, and they're just strong, tough, hard-nosed kids. They're always good. Have a good wrestling program.
For some of those Lincoln people, that's where the great Rob Murphy's from. Cole City Coolers.
Is Murph from Cole City?
That's where he grew up and went, yeah.
Gotcha. Yep. And then he's at Wilmington, right?
Yeah, then he went to Wilmington.
Well, they're good. They're good too this year. Holy cow!
Jeff Rentz is a great coach over there. Murph retired last year, so I don't know if he's helping coach football, but he may be.
Gotcha.
Well, Coach,
yeah, both good teams. So excited to go watch that game tonight.
Yeah, and we're in the part of the season where injuries and rest are huge, and you put a whipping on Chicago Ag Science last night, 51-6. You said you pulled your starters at half.
Yeah.
So that that's got to get your kids some rest and get them ready for next week. That's pretty huge.
Let's talk a little bit about that game last night, because I was watching, and they took the opening drive and headed down the field, and I was like, hey, now what's going on? But then, but then all of a sudden, probably some chewings went on, and the defense held, and you got the ball, and it took like 3-4 plays to go right down the field and score.
Yeah, it's always interesting, and I've found out over the years, like playoff time. If you're in the playoffs, you're a solid football team, and then obviously you're excited to start every game, and everybody's pumped up, and this has happened each of the last 2 playoff games that we've had this year. It's tough to get those stops, and last night it was kind of on our own accord. We had a penalty that kept their first drive going, and then you settle in, you rely on what you did all week long, and then really from that point on, other than kind of one longer touchdown pass. We held them. I don't have the stats, but they didn't do a whole lot. I'm sure they were under 100 yards. And then it was kind of funny. Coaches were texting. We scored 51 last night. It's the first time all year we've been under 300 yards of total offense. But that was just simply our defense played well, and we were getting the ball at the 30 and 40
short
yard
fields.
line. Yeah.
Coach, I got to ask you. A lot of stories from Joe about his coaching days with you. Now, do you cuss out your coaches there and cuss them out, chew them out like you did Joe back in the day?
Well, let's
headset talk. Let's
have the listeners know that you can't believe everything you hear, especially from Joe Ryan.
Oh, I don't know, man.
They
were pretty detailed stories.
That's so funny.
There may have been a couple here and there. Joe likes to tell the one, Joe, who we were playing at home, and it was right before half, and you wanted to make one call, and I said, no, we're doing this. And they scored, and it was totally my call defensively. And I think Joe cussed me out that time.
No.
Call, idiot.
I remember vividly, I said no like 3 times to you, and you turned.
He sent Wes and Neese on a safety blitz.
But you turned around to me and you said, I'm the head coach, and I'm doing it. And I said, okay. And Wes left, and they threw a touchdown pass. And then on that headset, I said, well, aren't you a genius? And you came at me.
Here's what I will say. I have certainly mellowed out in my older age.
Oh, man.
Yeah, very rarely. Once in a while, I got a little fired up last night. One of my assistant coaches and I nodded each other at the kids. We had a couple of just dumb, unsportsmanlike penalties. Make a play and get up and chirp to somebody, say something, and that part's just frustrating. But other than that, I don't typically get real frustrated. Like I said, I guess part of that just comes with age.
I'm not sure I like the calm down, Shane.
Yeah, you're getting old.
Well, the other thing is too, there was a couple of I don't get real mad at the officials. It's a really hard job to do.
Holy cow.
Everything happens very fast. You've got a lot of things to think about. We have the ability, of course, we have, huddle sideline. The instant a play is over, we have 5 iPads on the sideline. We can watch it from 3 different views. Well, we had 2 personal fouls on their sideline, late hit out of bounds. So as soon as the plays are done, I don't know if I need to chew my kid's butt or what I need to do. And we pull them up, and we are tackling the kids in the field of play. And then the guy on their side, and it happened twice. And I talked to him at halftime, and I was very calm. And I just said, hey, I understand you've got a tough job to do, but I said, we have these on, on our iPads, and, hindsight's always 20/20. So I had a calm discourse with him. I'm not sure that would have happened a few years ago.
And, on my side, that's where the camera is on the visitor side. So when I'm watching on the sidelines, I was saying the same thing. How are they calling that?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk to the officials. They have a really tough job. But both of the tackles started inside of the tick marks by the sideline.
They did.
And the momentum just took them out of bounds. They weren't vicious hits. They weren't. It wasn't illegal at all. And that's 30 yards of penalties that kept drives going. And when it's 51-6, that's one thing you can, you can
be a little more calm.
At halftime.
Yeah.
when it's 14-13,
yeah,
maybe I won't be so calm.
Well, that's why I think I sent you a text that said we might need to talk about the penalties at halftime. Yeah, I thought that a few of those were bad, but the penalties were helping them keep some drives alive, and
they did.
Well, it didn't help them too much. They scored 6 points.
I will tell you, you dominated the game. You really did. So I mean, it was fun to watch because you just dominated. Kind of did what you want. That 27 is a stud. What's his name?
Eli Davidson. He's our best football player. He's Cullen, my youngest sons. They've been best friends since the day we moved here. Great kid, and just he's I just mentioned the West Nice. He's just kind of one of those types that he just gets things. It doesn't matter. Eli can pick up a golf club and swing it well, and plays basketball for us. He can run track or play baseball. And on the football field, he just understands the angle to take to get somebody. He understands body positioning and, the timing and all those things. And he's a great kid. He's one of the only kids I've ever, he started the second half of the season on varsity as a freshman, was just physically ready and as good as anybody we had at the time.
Yeah, let's be a dad, be a proud dad. What was Cullen last night? When he takes off, he's quick.
Yeah, he had a couple nice runs. It was nice. I think we only threw it 9 times. So I think he was 6 of 9, not many yards. Again, we had short field, and we've got a really, really good junior running back, LJ Carnegie, who, was out the first couple of weeks and still is at, I don't know, he's probably at 1,300 or 1,400 yards now. And it was kind of feed him the ball, but Cullen did have a few nice runs. But overall, just a good team effort.
He was running.
God, it's nice to we got the Friday game, and from this point on, they'll nobody's going to want to go back to Friday if they've already played on a Saturday. So we kind of gained that extra day of rest, so that'll be nice.
I thought there were some huge holes that blew up for him, like running off tackle, I thought.
Yeah, we actually we're kind of an inside zone team, and we kind of ran some outside zone yesterday. And some he does a really good vision. Some he just pressed the hole and kept going, and then he had a couple nice cutbacks too.
Yeah. So, Coach, football, it's a game of matchups. You looking at these two teams going today. I know it's still early, still got a lot of film to watch, but who do you match up better with, Bullen or Coal City?
That's a good question, and you are right. It is a game of matchups. They both are similar in styles. It used to be. It's just, I guess, the evolution of the game. Both these programs historically used to be kind of double tight wing, play in a phone booth, and now both of them are more spread teams. They're going to be in gun, really very similar to us. It's not that they necessarily want to throw it all the time, but just spread you out and give it to some kids. So really the matchup is pretty similar both ways.
Either way, you're coming home, right?
No, we're on the road no matter what. Unfortunately, just the way the IHSA is set up in the playoffs, it's seed only matters if you've both hosted the same number of games. Well, we've been home for the first 2 weeks, and Coal City was home week 1, Boylan's home week 2, so both of them are only going to have one host, so we are traveling no matter what.
Yeah, I think it should be the top seed no matter what. That's what you fight for all season long, get that good seed. Higher seed gets home game. It's just the way it should be.
I agree. And I really looked at that and thought, well, you're the better seed on either one of those teams, so.
Unless you're the lower seed, then you
then you're happy to have a home game, right?
Yeah. So either way, you're on the road. Well, that's all right.
We're on the road.
Get a road test.
Let's tell you what, you said that'll be next Saturday?
Yeah, theoretically, I think that's probably, like I said, they're playing at 1:00 today.
Which one's closer to us?
I don't.
Joe, Coal City or Rockford? All right.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Coal City's a closer drive for us than Rockford, isn't it?
For you guys, yeah. For us, it's not. Yeah, not even close. Well, I shouldn't say it's not too bad, but Boylan's only about 45 minutes, and then Coal City's going to be about 2 hours for us.
That's about what it is for us, I think.
Yeah. Well,
right up 55 and about 20 miles off the
I
highway.
have to plan a little road trip.
The Coal City Kohlers.
I want to see the
Well,
Dixon
listen,
Dukes.
you guys, I've been inviting you over and over, so don't get my hopes up. And
well-
I won't hold my breath.
Well, don't.
Well,
Because
well,
hard
I
to
know
breathe.
you can't hold your breath for very long.
Not for very long. Although
let's try it. Hold your breath. We'll count.
Joe surprised me at I think it was my first ever playoff football game at Mount Vernon.
Oh, yeah.
We went to.
It was a great game.
You know, Joe surprises us every Saturday morning when he shows up.
Where did you go?
sure.
Where was that? Where were you playing?
We played Mattoon, the Green Wave,
Green Wave.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
over by Eastern.
Yep. We came over, and then did you lose at the last minute or something? Or did you win that game?
We
Can't
won
even
it, Joe. We went for 2 with no time.
Okay, I was just gonna. I was trying to go back through that. There was a 2-point
Yeah.
conversion at the end, and somebody must have
did.
talked you into the 2-point conversion, and you went and got it.
Tight over right, 4 deep, 48 rocket sweep to DeMontez Miller Gray. DeMontez, one of my favorite kids, man. He was tough.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
had me there for a second. I was trying to remember. Yeah, that was a great game. Yeah, that was fun. Who'd you get after that, Mount Vernon? Where'd you go? I mean, the next playoff game.
We had to play Washington at home.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the year they had a tornado. A week later, they beat U-High real bad, and then they lost to Griffin. But, man, they were loaded.
Yeah, that was a good team.
I will never forget this. We went out for the coin toss, and I was physically intimidated by a 17-year-old man who had a beard and one eye was looking one way and he had a scar on his face. And I was like, this isn't going to be very good for our kids because this guy looks like he wants to murder somebody. And that was in the pregame coin toss.
And that's when Crouch was coaching too, wasn't it? That was Crouch.
Yeah, he was. Yep.
And he was a big dude that would.
Oh, he's a big old guy,
Yeah,
Daryl.
he's a mammoth, man.
Yeah, they were good. They had a really good running back.
Real good.
So the kids weren't getting good vibes when Shaner came back to the sideline.
No, I was probably
Like,
wanting to go.
we're screwed.
That's pretty funny stuff, right?
Coach, enjoy your day today. Go over and watch some football. We'll be keeping an eye on it as well. And then, hopefully we can make it over there next Saturday because I'd love to see you guys in action.
Well, that sounds good. So, thanks for having me, guys. I always enjoy it. It's always fun to talk to you guys.
Hey, I'm checking my memory banks that you brought that up now. I have that play on film. I remember I filmed that play because
You probably had the camera going back then.
Yeah.
You probably had a Motorola Razr or something, Joe. Or Blackberry. Maybe it was your Blackberry.
You're so funny.
I remember the first time I was slow to everything, always have been. I was not going to get a cell phone. I didn't understand why would I want to have everybody be able to get a hold of me. Of course, Joe was the first guy in Lincoln to have them.
Oh, quit.
And he wanted
had
to
the big bag
text with
phone.
me. And I said, why would I text you? If I need to talk to you, I'll just call you. So that tells you just how long ago that was.
And Shaner still has the iPhone 2.
I moved up in the world. About whether I need it or not, about every 2 years, I either drop it or jump in a swimming pool with it in my pocket or something stupid.
What makes a guy act like that? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The friends he keeps.
Well, could be correct.
Yeah.
Hey, well, have fun today, man.
Yeah, have
you
fun.
got a W?
Got a dub
Absolutely.
last night, and all's well in Dixon, and we'll see who you're taking on later on today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep, anytime,
All
buddy.
right.
We'll talk to you later.
See you, Coach.
Talk to you later.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Real quick, just around the area, Marora Forsyth taking on Chester at 2. Nope, not saying it again. It's a mouthful. 2:30.
Manito.
Marora.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Quick with the buttons, Manito, man. Nice job.
Quincy Notre Dame, they're going to
Q&D
take on
rolling.
Arthur at 2 o'clock. Williamsville Monticello at 2 o'clock. How about Mount Zion
How
beating
about
up
Mount
Peoria
Zion?
Notre Dame? Man,
Hey, now I was watching both games at Mount Zion and
Who?
Shaners. Mount Zion and Shaners. I was watching both games, and Man, Mount Zion looked good.
Yeah.
They got that big kid, can't think of his name right now, that's going to Illinois, 6'7", just running around out there and taking the ball away from kids. And they have a quick quarterback. They look good last night. We got, Dave Clem from Lincoln over there helped coach. They look good last night.
We got Normal U High taking on Olney at 4 o'clock, and then Warrensburg Latham at Johnson City tonight at 5.
Let's go back to the Olney game.
Okay.
Who are they taking on today?
Warrensburg.
No, Johnson.
Normal U High?
Normal U High is playing Olney. Now the thing to look at there, Olney was 0-9 last year, and they are 10-0 this year. That's unbelievable.
You know what Olney's famous for?
Schnitzels.
White squirrels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This useless knowledge brought to you by Joe Ryan, Country Financial.
That was brought to you right there.
Make it your own.
By FedEx.
How about this game at SHG taking on Joliet Catholic? That's a 2 o'clock
2 o'clock.
game. Yeah, 2 o'clock game.
Big game.
Big game. And then you got Glenwood taking on Oak Forest at 2.
I got to go up there, too.
Yeah, some big games today locally. So hopefully those guys can get some wins and keep it rolling.
Fun having some high school teams around here still in it.
Absolutely.
And state championships over at Bloomington this year, so that's fun.
Yeah, that's
easy
real
trip.
fun. Especially just think about Normal U High.
Yeah,
it's a home game. Man.
Home game.
Home game.
Literally.
But
except they'll probably have the other
you
side.
left Bloomington out of there. Bloomington's still alive.
Well, I didn't get that far.
He only had so much internet service.
Yeah.
Listen, look at his agenda.
We have an agenda.
I've got to tell you,
That's
for the
amazing.
fans out there,
we have an agenda.
We've worked with him, and worked with him.
You keep kicking him while he's down because he doesn't have it, and all of a sudden he gets a football, and
that's why I laid back. I was letting him go with it. And you know what? I think it's because he wore the glasses, makes him look smarter.
Feel smarter. By God darn it, that's going to do it for us today here on the Cheap Seat.
A lot of happy people. This is over with.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks for tuning in. Jake?
Good day.
Here we go.
Live video streaming of this event is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.